Alright, welcome back to my channel, my dudes. Hope your day's going well. Today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video. It's a video that I've never done before, nor have I really, took interest in this kind of thing. But I'm going to be doing my own tier list. Now, I know that tier lists, they are, subjective and stuff like that. People might think otherwise or whatever, but I'm going to do my own. Obviously, I regard myself pretty high in terms of knowledge in this game. Like, I know pretty much everything there is to know about this game. I play PvP at the high level, both on global and JP, so I know pretty much what the best units are, what people run, who's good, who isn't. So I'm gonna make my own little tier list for what I think is usable in PvP. Now this is a PvP tier list only, right? Please don't comment something like, oh, this unit's good for, this, that. It's strictly for PvP. From what I've seen, I've tested out a lot of units in PvP, so I'm gonna do my best to to just give my opinion to you guys. Maybe you listen to it, maybe you don't, maybe you consider it, maybe you don't. Obviously that's down to you, but the opinion is coming from a top player, right? And sometimes I do get predictions wrong. Like if you see on social media, I've made some little fuck ups, like for example Zeldris. I did think he was going to be pretty bad. He turned out to be very good. And Elizabeth, I did think she'd be good, but I didn't think she'd be as good as she actually is. So I don't make perfect predictions all the time, but generally I'm pretty spot on. Alright, so we'll just start from top to bottom, just because it's the easiest thing to do, and starting off with Blue King. He is obviously meta, very meta unit, been a meta unit since the game ever released. He's just that good. His passive boosts him, his skills are fantastic, pretty much one of the most perfect combination of skills, topped off with a beautiful ultimate, very strong ultimate. Love this unit. Now next is Blue Giant Diane. Now I run into her pretty often, right, because I am in higher PvP, and whales up there, they can get away with running units like Big Diane. I don't want to put her in off meta because she's not really off meta, but I do want to put her in obscured, just because actually, but before I keep moving on, God tier meta, this is like what people use at the highest tiers of PvP, the most popular units. Meta is the the units that you'll find everywhere, no matter what. Off meta is units that you'll sometimes see. Obviously that's why it's called off meta. Sometimes you'll see them, sometimes you won't. Obscure is very, like, you'll rarely run into these units, but there are some people out there that do use them. Troll units are units that are just used to basically troll, because they're not they're not that good, but they are pretty trolly. And bad / unusable, this is where the bulk of the units are gonna be going, right? Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there is a lot of bad / unusable units in PvP, especially now this deep in JP. Obviously on global, some of the dudes I'm gonna put in the bad / unusable list, they can be usable in global, right? But you just can't get away with that in JP. So yeah, that's my criteria for this. So Diane, obscure, some whales use her, some some Diane fanboys might use her, but in the general sense, you play 100 games of PvP, chances are you don't even fight her once, whereas you play 100 games of PvP, you run into King 80% of the time. Next, Green Merlin, obviously meta unit. Passive is everything about her. If she didn't have that passive, she might still see some play, because she also does have a fantastic skill set, also a pretty decent ultimate, seal attack skills, but mostly for the passive, Merlin is pretty damn sweet. Love her. Now Coin Shop Barn, he's another unit I'd put into obscure. Very rarely run into him anymore, but I have run into him pretty recently, so there are still people using him. It's not like he's completely forgotten or anything, but he is a very obscure. Not gonna run into many of him. Obviously this is based off my opinion, because I am in high tier PvP. I don't know, maybe he might be popular as hell down in, I don't know, silver, gold, platinum, masters, whatever, but for where I am, I don't see any Coin Shop Barns. Very rarely. Like I don't even know what sample to give you. 1 in every 200 games, I don't even know, but he's very rare. Red Demon Meliodas, I can't even lie to you guys, this dude is borderline bad / unusable. There's just no place for him, right? putting him in the sub slot, waiting for him to come in and then be able to do damage. At that point, not really, man, because the way things are on JP now, if your sub unit has to come in, chances are you're basically screwed, or you're en route to lose the match. So the way Red Demon Meliodas works, it just doesn't cut it anymore. I did do a video on him where I used him in an ult team, but that's not really much. I mean, you can put anyone in an ult team and they can do pretty well. So that's what I personally think. You might think he's in troll or maybe even obscure, but from what I've seen, like, man, my last 1,000+ games, I don't recall seeing a Red Demon Meliodas, man. I really don't. And next, Red Escanor. I actually used Red Escanor in my top 100 run. Obviously, I know I didn't do a video on it, and I didn't do any just didn't record any video on my top 100 run. I played 100 games. I won 84 of them, 84% win rate. I did have Red Escanor in my team. Fantastic unit. Sometimes I'll prefer the green one over red. Sometimes I'll prefer the red over green. But Red Escanor, fantastic unit. The way I use him, mostly for utility, not for damage dealing. Skill set is very good. Obviously liable to Galther attack seals, but for the most part, very, very sweet unit. Obviously, he is the main leader of the mono red team. He carries that team. No other red unit can carry mono red the way Escanor does, so he also does have that. Galther, I mean, is there even a discussion? It's like him and King. Like, I don't even need to. It's Galther, dude. Melascula, troll unit for sure. Her commandment, very annoying. In general, just the way she is, very annoying. Wait, is there red Melascula on here? I hope she is. Yeah, she is. Okay. Just to double check. Yeah, blue Melascula, very, very rare. You might run into the odd troll using her. I don't know, maybe in low PvP, but for the, like, in general, she's really not good. A bit of a troll unit. Other than that, meh, don't have much to say about her. She can get pretty annoying because she does lifesteal a lot, but other than that, don't have too much to say about her. Blue Demon Meliodas, 7 whole months later, right? Pierce still going strong. Not in the highest tiers of PvP, definitely not. Like in top 100, I did not face many Pierce teams, but in the lower ranks, 100% Pierce team is still a viable option. So gonna keep that in mind. I'm not gonna run into him as much as people in, I don't know, Champion Masters might do, but I definitely do know he is still meta, right? Now Milim, I'm conflicted on whether to put her in bad / unusable or troll, because I mean, if you're using any of the slime units, you probably are trolling. But even now, like, her ultimate is just not as strong as it used to be, just because of gear and stuff. Just the way the game has progressed, like, there's literally no reason to run her. Even if you was trolling, like, literally no viability to her. I think I'll put her in a bad / unusable. Same with Rimuru. Literally, literally don't have anything to say about him. He's just he's worse than Milim, right? Slader, I did a video on this guy. Incredibly poor passive for PvP. If the enemy has more than 0 ultimate gauge, which is going to be every single enemy you ever face, because no one, like, if you go first, the enemy has 1 gauge. If you go second, the enemy is still going to have 1 gauge because they're going to use skills. Slader passive doesn't proc, he doesn't crit, he's garbage. So in PvP, I do think he's bad / unusable. Blue Merlin, I don't think I've ever faced a blue Merlin in my lifetime of playing JP Grand Cross, and that should tell you that should oh wait, not her, that should tell you the story of blue Merlin. Never faced her once in my life. I mean, who would use her? I don't have an idea. Skills are a bit meh. They're really not too good. They have good effects on them, but the actual skills themselves with her passive, it's not a great combination. Blue Jericho, I don't think I've ever faced her either. I have to slot her right in bad / unusable. Now I could put her in troll or obscure, but just because she does have a pretty decent kit, but never faced her in my life, never tried her, and I certainly won't, so I just can't say much. I'd have to put her in bad / unusable just because she is blue. You might think that, oh, you know, you look at meta list so far, there's not too many green units. Maybe she might be good. I don't think she'll be good whatsoever. Blue Elaine, never faced her in my life. Matrona Diane, she is most definitely a troll unit, even though I've never faced her. You could definitely troll some dudes just because you can play about with her passive a little bit, give her crit resist gear, and she will crit like just every hit, right? So just based on that, I think I'd put her in the troll category, just because you have the ability to use her efficiently, and she would be a very trolly unit. But is she gonna be good? No, but still a troll. I'll put her there. Blue Elizabeth, I face her not too often in ungeared, right? Geared, I don't face her at all. I do face her though. She's not like, she's not necessarily obscure, because to be obscure you have to actually be a good unit, right? But people just don't use you much. She's not a good unit besides her passive, so I'd have to put her in troll, just because she's meant to die and then boost you know, your other units, boost their gauge and stuff. I'll have to put her in troll. Now Blue Ellihawk, definitely an obscure. She is pretty damn good. If you get her to work with Arthur and Galtha, she can do pretty sweet. I'll put her in obscure. I haven't faced her in months, not gonna lie, but yeah, would put her in a obscure, because she can work. If you really want to make her work, she can, but I haven't faced her in a very long time. Galland, now you guys will be surprised how often I fight Galland when, like, especially in ungeared, when I'm at a super high rank. People use Galland pretty damn often in really high ranks. You'll be surprised. I have to put him in obscure. They run him mostly in an ult team, just because if he gets off his ultimate, he's just going to be two-shotting everyone. So Galland, still pretty damn good. Very obscure. Only big whales use him. Maybe they troll with him, maybe they don't, but I definitely do run into him sometimes. Blue Galtha, I did a video on him. He's yeah, not even gonna discuss. Hendrickson, last time I faced him, I must have been in silver or maybe bronze, at least 10 months ago. So don't have much don't have much to say about him. Blue Fat King, he did see play at the very start of the game when people had no idea what was going on. Now you will never run into him. However, due to his taunt, he protects your whole team, not from damage, but he protects them by counter attacking if you attack one of the allies. Definitely has the potential to be a troll unit, so I'll put him there. But yep, Blue King, I've never faced one in my lifetime, so yeah, that should tell you the story. Lilia, I mean, dudes, come on. With Demon Meliodas, creates the Pierce meta, also very cancerous in ult teams, also very cancerous with Estarossa meta, no doubt about that. Blue Nunchuck Barn, simply due to his passive, you can troll people with him, but I think I faced him once. I think once, not too long ago, I faced him. But yeah, he can be pretty annoying with his passive. He snatches 50% of everyone's defense. Now it's not a debuff. It's not like a snatch debuff. He just you know, just takes their defense. It's built in. So I mean, never faced. Wait, I faced him once, as I said, but nothing too serious. This Barn, potentially a troll. I know someone who used to run this Barn, just because if he doesn't get attacked, he debuffs the enemies. He decreases their attack related stats by, I think it's 10% or something like that. Pretty sure. Yeah, has the potential to be a troll unit. I only know one person that's like ever used him, but I'll put him in troll. Skinny Green King. If this was like 5 months ago, I'd definitely put him up in off meta, but it's not 5 months ago, so I have to put him in troll, because the only way you're gonna see Green King in play is if they're using him with this Elizabeth or with another unit that I'll discuss much further down. He's decent, not too good, but in a meta that's dominated by red units, it's really not a good idea to run him. This Fat King did pretty damn well in my global showcase. I showcased this dude, he did pretty well, but on JP, it's just not gonna cut it. Lilia, Green Lilia, definitely off meta. Run into her quite a few times, not too often, but I do run into her for sure. Off meta, no doubt about that. Just because of her passive, her skills can be pretty annoying to deal with, but off meta in general, no doubt about that. Meliodas, counter Meliodas, the oldest SSR in the game, who is also somehow found himself in the anniversary banner because Japanese people voted this dude, which is insane. I can't fathom it, but yeah, he's a troll unit. If he gets low on HP, you pull off a counter, you can one-shot any unit, so guess he can troll. Valenti, off meta for sure. I ran into her quite a few times, not quite a few as in like 10 times I thought about. I think I faced her about 3-4 times in top 100. Still used just because there might be some people out there that are scared of PS teams and somehow don't have Red King. So I'll put her in off meta, I'm happy with that. Glocks, he's garbage. Bad / unusable for him. This Diane, she was in the team of a dude who finished #1 in PvP like a while ago, but I'm not convinced. I think I'd have to put her in. I mean, her skills ain't the worst. Her skills definitely ain't the worst, but even if you ran her, it wouldn't be to troll, man. But she's definitely not bad or unusable, but I've never faced her, so I really don't know, man. Never faced her. She was used in someone's team when they got #1. Obscure troll. You know what? We'll break even. I'll just put her in obscure, just because she does have a pretty good skill set, right? And she was used legitimately by someone who finished first, so I'll put her in obscure, even though I've never faced her in my life. That will be what I do with her. Now, this green demon Meliodas, if you can get this dude to work, he can be an absolute monster. He's the only unit in the game that can chain recycle his ultimate. If you ult with this dude and you kill an enemy and they have full ult gauge, you get your ultimate right back. It sounds insane, but making it work is really damn hard. So I'd have to put him in obscure. Even though he did see some play, ran into him not too long ago. So he is a good unit. It's just that he's really hard to make. It's really hard to make him work, man. So people just tend to not use him. This Diane, sorry to say, guys, but she is 100% meta. In higher PvP, maybe not in lower PvP. In higher PvP, she is 100% meta. People do use her quite a lot, especially in the Fraudrin team. So no issue about that. She's in meta. No questions asked. Obviously her taunt, that's the main reason why they use her, because her passive has built-in taunt. So you start the game, it starts with her taunt. She puts up a shield, you have to break it. So can easily understand why. She is on the Fraudrin Lost Vein Meliodas team. I don't have an issue with that. She's definitely meta. Maybe not for you guys in the lower leagues of PvP, but in high tier she's definitely meta. Death Pierce, man, if you're running this guy, you must be trolling. Like you must be running some goofy crit team. So I guess you'll be trolling, because I don't know how people expect to win with goofy crit teams, but he's definitely a troll unit. Green the Lane, I actually used her to pretty good success in a showcase I did not too long ago, but she's still bad. Not unusable, but still very bad. This Green Elizabeth, on global she's pretty cancer, but here on JP, no point running her. Green Escanor, I mean, dude, it's Green Escanor, man. Still rocking solid till this day. Fantastic unit. Don't have to discuss what he does. Green Moore is terrible. I used him in a video not too long ago. He's garbage. Green Gila, no one would use her, even though a lot of people have her 6/6 for free, because she was given for free to us during the Halloween celebration. 6 copies global. You guys are not going to get that for sure. They'll make a banner for her just because they wreck you guys. Green Helbram, not usable. Green Jericho, I know Japanese players definitely use this girl in lower PvP. She is definitely used, but she's not bad or unusable. She's more of a troll unit. This Barn is garbage. Red Merlin, definitely off meta. Trust me, dudes, when you face her, you'll be surprised how annoying she can be. Not used much, but definitely off meta. Definitely used by some people. Very annoying unit. Monspeed is total garbage. Deldry is a troll unit just because of her unique, her passive. She is definitely a troll unit. This Elizabeth, I mean, troll unit, because she can be very annoying with skills, because she does increase all allies defense related stats. I think I've run into her once maybe, and it was pretty cancerous, so I'll put her there. Red Barn, I did a video using this guy and I lost most of my games, so nothing good to say about that dude. Benny Maru, you've got to be trolling. This Diane, yeah, no. Red Gil, I'll put him in obscure because there are still some people who use him in their ult teams. Gila, you're not trolling if you use her, and she's not necessarily that good, so I'll put her in bad. Not unusable, but bad. Maybe I should have put maybe I should have split this into bad and unusable. I just didn't want to have too many categories. Hellbrum, I'm not trying to be funny, guys, but Kingbrum seriously is off meta, especially in higher tier PvP. You do still find them pretty regularly, but the team's just not as good anymore. He is definitely in the off meta section. Hauser, off meta or obscure? I think obscure, just because people who run mono red, they're either going to have red Grimoire in the back, red Hauser, or red King, right? And for that, I'll put him in obscure because the very strong, powerful mono red teams, they're the ones using Hauser because he boosts up Escanor and Arthur's base stats by 8%. I'll put him in obscure. Fat King, let's not even go there. This Meliodas is in the running for worst SSR in the game. Alat is pretty bad. Arthur, obscure, off meta. Nah, I think he's off meta, man. I do. When I play top 100 PvP, that he's nowhere to be seen, right? But when I play like just normal geared and ungeared, he is pretty. Yeah, I'll put him in off meta. Yeah. The SRs, guys, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. 99% of them are garbage. Every single one of them. I'm not even gonna waste your time. I'll just slot all of these dudes. Now, this is PvP, right? So just keep that in mind before you, you know, start to get annoyed or whatever. Gustav, he's legit a troll unit. I know some dudes who used to run him not too long ago. He's definitely a troll unit. Green, Ellie Hawk, she is definitely obscure. Some people still use her in Pierce teams. Definitely obscure. The rest of these dudes are just garbage. Green Gil, off meta for sure. Doesn't see play as much as he used to. This Red Elizabeth, if you want to piss people off, you can use her. Heal back a lot from her passive, but other than that, not good. Slot all these dudes here. Dreyfus, nope. Red Grimoire, off meta, yes, off meta for sure. Mono red dudes still use him. We'll just clear out the garbage here because no one uses these dudes. Twigo, troll unit for sure. Some mono red cancerous dudes do like to run Twigo in the back. Most of them don't, but some of them do. Now, Bellion, he's a pile of poop. Not gonna lie, guys. Red King is definitely meta. Definitely. Just because of his unique, his passive. Skills are garbage. Ultimate's great, but passive. Cut the pierce rate of all enemies by half, and then cut the bonus pierce rate, i.e. the buff from Lilia. Cut that by half as well. Very good. Esterosa, off meta, not seen as much as he used to, but still seen pretty regularly. Still a great unit. Red Esterosa, garbage. Slader, I ran into a Slader not too long ago in ungeared PvP. Some guy was running Frowder and Lost Vein and Slader, but I easily won that game, so that should tell you what I think of him. The Valentine's Day lollies, sorry, but these are not PvP units. I'll put them there. Derriere, I really want to put her in meta, but I just don't see her too often. I think off meta is pretty good. Jillian, not used. Green Derriere, definitely meta. You guys might not know, but the big whales, they love using her because she can be very annoying, very cancerous with her unique. Red Melascula, definitely a troll unit. If you use her, you gotta be trolling just because of her unique. She revives an ally, and then that ally can't be killed for, what was it, 3 turns? They can't be killed unless you cleanse that debuff. Yeah, very toxic. Red Galland, people thought he was gonna be amazing when we read his skills, but turns out he's not. Easton, I'm gonna put her in obscure just because she has a very strong ultimate and she does cease in play. Mono is garbage. Arthur is I don't want to put him in garbage, man, but if you're using him, you gotta be trolling. Ha! We get to my boy Fraudrin. I don't even need to I don't need to explain, man. Fraudrin, he's Fraudrin, okay? Losve Meliodas, don't need to explain. Possibly the most used unit in the game. Roxy is garbage. This Fraudrin is a troll unit. I faced him, I think, once in top 100 PvP. Zeratrus is useless in PvP. Zeldris, not meta. Definitely off meta though. Definitely. Red Glocks, I'll put him in troll. Even though people think he's really good, nah, trust me. That's my opinion though. That is my opinion. Hawk is not a PvP unit. Goddess Elizabeth, obviously I was definitely wrong about her. She is god tier meta unit for sure. I know when I'm wrong sometimes, and I was very wrong on her. She's a fantastic unit. Not my type of unit. I really don't like the way you have to use her. I don't like her. No, not saying that they're bad, but to my playstyle, the way I like to play PvP, she's just not suited to my playstyle. So I just have a natural bias against her, but she is fantastic. Definitely a top 3 unit. Matrona, I'd put her in a troll if her passive included PvP, but it doesn't, so yeah. Shin, he's a worse version of Galtha somewhat. If you want to proc his passive, chances are you're trying to troll people. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my tier list. Now, like I said, it is pretty biased because it's mostly done from a perspective of high tier PvP, which a lot of people watching this video might not be there or might not, you know what's going on there. As you can see, a lot of units bad / unusable. Like literally, like over half the roster is bad or unusable. And then quite a lot of troll units, just because chances are you won't fight these dudes, but if you do, the person using them is probably trolling. Obscure units are units that are good but not seen. Very rarely will you fight them. Off meta, you'll see these dudes somewhat regularly. Some of them maybe not as regularly, but some of them you'll definitely see pretty often. Meta units, you're gonna find like any given one of these, or maybe even multiple of them in a single team. You'll find them pretty much every game. And god tier meta, I kind of guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna do something real quick. Oops, let me delete this. Whale, yeah, that makes more sense, because dudes, you're not gonna find a proper Fraudrin if you're not in a super high PvP. You might find a Fraudrin, but are you gonna find a proper Fraudrin? That's the question. I'll put him above Elizabeth and Meliodas because they don't need to be used with Fraudrin, right? You can just use them in any bootleg ult team that you want, with King, Goltha, or with whoever the heck you want to use. But Fraudrin, you have to be a big boy to use him, right? So I'll just do that. And yeah, that's pretty much my tier list. Let me know what you think. I think for most of these, pretty accurate. I don't really know who you might disagree on, because honestly, any unit that's in obscure and above, these units are definitely used. Like I said, you might not see them all the time, but they are definitely used. Troll units and below, like, I don't like, you just don't see these units, man, not anymore. And if you do, they're either trolling or I have no idea what they're thinking if they're running a unit from here. But yeah, anyway guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Leave a comment if you disagree on anything. Maybe there's a placement that you don't like, or maybe you agree with me. Maybe for the most part you think my tier list is pretty spot on. Let me know what you think. Subscribe for more whale content. Obviously this isn't like some whale content video, this is like a more of a discussion, but for the most part I do upload a high tier PvP on both global and JP. On global I'm actually second in CC and number 1 in box CC, so pretty much top 3 player on global. JP is harder because there's just so many Japanese business owners that play that game, and I just can't compete with those dudes. But yeah, man, thank you very much for watching my video, guys. I'll see you in my next one.